You're listening to I've Been Cooking, where chefs and food lovers take apart delicious dishes and piece by piece tell the story of how they're made. I'm Andrea, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a dish that's spicy, hearty, and steeped in history. Fiery Cajun Gumbo.
Gumbo, oh, it's more than just a meal. It really captures the spirit of Louisiana.
You got that right. It's like a culinary time capsule.
You can trace influences from West Africa, France, Spain, even Native American traditions, all simmered together in one amazing pot.
It's amazing, right? And the word gumbo itself has a story.
Oh, absolutely. It comes from the Bantu word for okra, kingombo. Shows you how far back those African roots go.
Fascinating. So when did gumbo really become a staple in Louisiana?
Well, you're looking at the 18th century. That's when it cemented its place in both Creole and Cajun cooking.
Okay, so let's talk ingredients. What makes gumbo so unique?
All right. First, you got to understand the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah. Onions, bell peppers, and celery. They're the base of so many Cajun and Creole dishes, gumbo included.
Ah, the foundation. And what about that roux I hear so much about?
The roux, that's the soul of gumbo. You cook flour and oil together, low and slow, stirring constantly.
Sounds like it takes patience.
It does. You want it to turn this deep, rich chocolate brown color. It takes about 30 minutes.
Wow, a labor of love. Okay, so walk us through it. Where do we begin?
Let's start with the prep. While the roux is going, chop your Holy Trinity. Make sure everything's diced to about the same size so it cooks evenly.
All right, so the roux is simmering, the veggies are prepped. What's next?
While we're at it, let's slice some okra, mince some garlic, and don't forget the meat. Dice up about a pound of chicken and slice a pound of andouille sausage.
Ah, andouille sausage. Can't beat that smoky flavor. So roux, veggies, meat, garlic. Sounds like we're ready to assemble, right?
You got it. So your roux should be nice and brown by now. Toss in that Holy Trinity.
And cook it.
For a few minutes, till the veggies soften up and you start to smell those amazing aromas.
All right, wait. All right, what's next? Time for the meat.
Yep. Add the minced garlic, then the chicken, then the star of the show, the andouille sausage. Let it all cook together until the chicken browns and those sausage oils start to release their flavor.
This is making me hungry. Okay, so the roux is ready, the Trinity's in, the meat is browned. What about spices?
Time to get those Cajun flavors going. A couple tablespoons of Cajun seasoning, a teaspoon each of dried thyme and oregano.
Don't forget the bay leaves.
Oh, right. A couple of those, and if you like it spicy, add a pinch of cayenne pepper. Give it all a good stir, make sure everything's coated in those spices.
Okay, we've got a flavor party happening in that pot. What's next?
Now for the liquid gold. Chicken broth. Pour in about 6 cups, slowly, stirring constantly. You don't want any lumps.
6 cups, slow and steady. Got it. It's starting to sound like real gumbo now.
It is. Now comes the hard part, waiting. Turn the heat down to a simmer, cover the pot, and let it cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. You want those flavors to really meld.
Okay, we're simmering away. What happens after that glorious hour?
Time for the okra. Stir it in and let it cook for about 15 minutes.
15 minutes for that earthy okra flavor. And then, is it finally shrimp time?
You bet. Add those peeled and deveined shrimp and let them cook for about 5 minutes. They'll turn pink and opaque when they're done.
Almost there. What about final seasoning?
Now's the time to adjust the salt and pepper. And of course, a dash of hot sauce never hurts if you like things extra spicy.
Speaking of extra kicks, what about file powder?
Ah, file powder. It's made from ground sassafras leaves and adds a unique earthy flavor. And it helps thicken the gumbo. Sprinkle in a tablespoon or so right at the end just before serving. But be careful, a little goes a long way.
File powder. Another layer of flavor. So we've got this amazing pot of gumbo simmering away. But what does it actually taste like?
Imagine this. Savory roux, sweet Holy Trinity, smoky andouille, and the fresh brightness of the shrimp. Plus that touch of earthy magic from the file powder.
Wow, that's quite the combination. And the aroma.
Oh, close your eyes and imagine that warm, spicy fragrance filling your kitchen. It's a sensory experience.
You're making my mouth water. So how do we serve this masterpiece?
Gumbo is traditionally served piping hot over a bed of fluffy white rice.
Classic. The rice soaks up all that delicious broth. Anything else?
Serve it in deep bowls so you get a good amount of everything. And don't forget the crusty French bread for sopping up every last drop.
Deep bowls, rice, French bread. Got it. Any side dish suggestions?
If you're going for a full Southern experience, a crisp green salad or a creamy potato salad, and a cold drink, iced tea, lemonade, or even a beer.
This is shaping up to be quite the feast.
Yep.
Any final pro tips before we let our listeners go try this themselves?
I've got one about the roux. Always use a whisk dedicated just to roux making. No cross-contamination of flavors that way.
That's a good one. Keeps the roux pure.
That-
Any others?
Yep, when you're chopping those veggies for the Holy Trinity, try to keep the pieces about the same size. They'll cook more evenly.
Great tip. So we covered history, ingredients, preparation, flavors, aromas, and even serving suggestions. This has been quite the deep dive into fiery Cajun gumbo. Before we let our listeners go, any final thoughts?
Gumbo is more than just a dish. It's a story. It's about cultural fusion, culinary expertise, and the joy of sharing a meal with the people you love.
Beautifully said. It reminds us that food connects us to our past, our culture, and each other.
Exactly. Speaking of connection, don't forget to share your gumbo creations with us.
That's right. Tag us at I've Been Cooking on social media and use the hashtag I've Been Cooking Gumbo.
And visit our website, I'vebeen.cooking, for more delicious recipes and culinary adventures.
We've got a whole world of flavors waiting for you to explore. This has been so much fun. I'm ready to make some gumbo myself.
Me too. And remember, cooking is a journey. Have fun, experiment, and don't be afraid to add your own twist to this classic dish. Happy cooking.
Until next time, bon appetit.
You know, talking about all these ingredients, it makes you realize there must be so many different ways to make gumbo.
Oh, for sure. I bet every family has their own special recipe, like a little twist that makes it their own.
Right. That's part of what makes gumbo so cool. You've got those core elements, the roux, the trinity, the slow cooking, but then you can get creative.
So you could say it's a dish that really celebrates your own culinary personality.
Exactly. There's no gumbo police. Some folks like it with seafood, shrimp, crab, you name it. Others, they stick to chicken and sausage.
And then there's the okra debate.
Oh, yeah. Some people love it, some people not so much. It's all about what you like.
And don't even get me started on the spice levels. Some gumbos could melt your face off. Others are more, well, gentle.
That's the beauty of it. Gumbo really reflects the whole diversity of Louisiana cooking. It's as unique as the person making it.
You know, we talk a lot about the ingredients and the steps,
Yeah.
but there's something else about gumbo. It's more than just food, right?
Definitely. It's an experience. It's about feeling, sharing.
Yeah, like when those aromas start filling your kitchen and you're holding that warm bowl, it's like a feeling of connection.
It's true. Food can be so much more than just fuel. It's about celebrating life, culture, community.
And speaking of tradition, I hear a lot of gumbo recipes are passed down through families, generation to generation.
Oh, absolutely. Every pot of gumbo has a story behind it. Family gatherings, memories, those recipes that everyone treasures.
It's amazing, right? Like a culinary tapestry woven with love, spices, and a whole lot of soul.
You said it. That's gumbo in a nutshell. It's both personal and universal. It connects you to your family and to this whole cultural heritage.
And that's what makes it so appealing, I think, to everyone. It's a dish that speaks to, like, our shared humanity.
Yeah.
The need for connection and good food.
And honestly, who doesn't love a good hearty stew?
Yeah.
Especially one with so much history and tradition behind it.
Speaking of history and tradition,
Yeah.
have you always been a gumbo fan? Did you grow up eating it?
Actually, no, I didn't. I first tried it in college. My friend from Louisiana, her family was from Lafayette, and they had this amazing recipe.
Wow, that sounds special. What was it about that first taste that hooked you?
Honestly, the flavor, it was like nothing I'd ever had. The richness of the roux, the sweetness of the veggies, that smoky sausage, and the whole experience. The smells, everyone gathered around the table, it was just so warm and inviting.
I can see why you were hooked. That feeling of community is definitely a big part of gumbo's appeal.
It is. It's something we all crave, I think. That sense of belonging, of being connected to something bigger. And food, especially gumbo, can really bring people together.
You're so right. Food has this power to connect us to our heritage, our families, even new cultures and experiences. And gumbo, with all its history and influences, it's the perfect example.
I couldn't agree more. It's a dish that tells a story, and that story keeps evolving with every generation.
And that makes you appreciate the power of food, doesn't it? The way it can bridge cultures and create these lasting memories.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And you know, it makes you think about all the other amazing dishes out there just waiting to be discovered and shared.
Oh, for sure. There's a whole world of culinary adventures out there. What advice would you give to someone who's, maybe a little intimidated by gumbo? Like it's their first time making it.
I'd say just go for it. Don't be afraid to jump in. It might seem complicated, but just break it down step by step. And remember, it's all about the process.
That's great advice. And it applies to so much more than just cooking, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in the end goal, we forget to enjoy the journey.
Exactly. Embrace the journey, savor each step, and don't worry about making mistakes. That's how we learn.
And with gumbo, sometimes those mistakes can lead to something even better, right?
Yeah.
A happy accident, a new discovery.
Absolutely. Maybe you add a little too much spice or forget an ingredient, but that's how you create your own unique version. Who knows, you might even discover a new family favorite.
That's a great way to look at it. So as we keep exploring this amazing dish, what are some of the things you find most fascinating about gumbo's history and how it's evolved?
You know, what I find really captivating is how gumbo shows the resilience and adaptability of the people who created it. It's a dish born out of necessity, using whatever was available, and it blends all these culinary traditions from different cultures.
It really speaks to human ingenuity, doesn't it? And the beauty of cultural exchange. It's amazing how those historical influences are still so present in the gumbo we eat today.
Exactly. Every bite is like a taste of history, a reminder of that diverse cultural tapestry that makes Louisiana's food so unique. And the fact that it keeps evolving, each generation adding their own touch, that's what keeps it alive.
It's a dish that connects us to the past, nourishes us in the present, and inspires us for the future. More than a meal, it's a legacy.
Well said. And it makes me think about the legacy we're building here at I've Been Cooking. We want to inspire people to explore new flavors, to connect with different cultures through food, to create their own culinary legacies in their own kitchens.
I love that. And we love seeing what our listeners create, so don't forget to share your culinary creations with us on social media.
Yes. Tag us at I've Been Cooking and use the hashtag I've Been Cooking Gumbo. Show us your delicious masterpieces.
And for more recipes and inspiration for your next culinary adventure, head over to our website, ivebeen.cooking.
We've got a whole world of flavors waiting for you.
It's amazing how gumbo can change and adapt over time. Makes you wonder, are there different types of gumbo, like regional variations?
Oh, absolutely. Gumbo's definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of dish. As it's spread across Louisiana, different areas put their own spin on it. Like in New Orleans, you'll often find gumbo with a tomato base. Adds a little brightness to those rich flavors.
Tomato-based gumbo.
Huh, interesting. Any other regional twists you've come across?
Well, if you head over to the Cajun coast, get ready for seafood, shrimp, crab, oysters, even crawfish. It's gumbo with a real coastal vibe.
So gumbo really does reflect the different parts of Louisiana, huh? The landscapes, the flavors.
For sure. And even beyond Louisiana, gumbo's traveled and changed, taking on new flavors as it goes. Like in Texas, you might find a gumbo with a Tex-Mex influence, maybe some chili peppers or cumin in there. It's amazing how this one dish can have so many different versions, but it's still gumbo, you know.
It shows you the power of food, I think, connecting us to our roots, but also letting us be creative. There's no right way to make gumbo. It's about finding what tastes good to you and sharing that.
Speaking of sharing, we love seeing what our listeners are cooking up. If you've been inspired to make some gumbo after this deep dive, don't forget to share those pictures with us on social media.
Yes, we want to see those culinary masterpieces. Tag us at I've Been Cooking and use the hashtag I've Been Cooking Gumbo.
And for more recipes and inspiration for your next culinary adventure, you know where to go.
Yeah.
Ivebeen.cooking.
We've got a whole world of flavors waiting to be explored.
This has been an incredible journey into Louisiana cooking. From its history and culture to the unique ingredients and all those regional twists, Fiery Cajun Gumbo is a dish that really captures the spirit of Louisiana. It's all about flavor, community, and celebrating culinary traditions.
It's been a joy sharing this deep dive with you and our listeners. Hopefully you're feeling inspired to try making this iconic dish yourself.
So grab your pots and spices, gather your loved ones, and let those amazing Louisiana aromas fill your kitchen. Remember, gumbo is more than just a meal. It's an experience.
And don't forget to share that experience with us. Until next time, happy cooking and bon appetit.
And that's a wrap on another delicious deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring Fiery Cajun Gumbo with us. We'll be back soon with more food adventures. Stay tuned.
Hi, it's Jamie, and if you enjoyed today's episode of I've Been Cooking, we'd love for you to share it. Leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new recipe. Do you know someone who loves cooking as much as you do? Send this episode their way. And hey, let's stay connected. You can find us on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook at I've Been Cooking. Tag us to show off your creations and join a community of food lovers worldwide. And if you want to chat with us directly, we're always hanging out on Discord. You'll find the link to join in the footer of our website at ivebeen.cooking. Until next time.